Namaste, beautiful human beings. Welcome. I'm so thrilled to have this moment of time with you. Please just pop in this chat bar your name, where you're tuning in from, so we can begin to see who all is here and connect in through the beautiful heart field. Welcome, welcome, all of you who are just joining. So excited for our time together. There's Lorna, Portugal, Pam, Massachusetts, Jennifer, Colorado Springs is Ava, Asheville, beautiful. Gali, Michelle, welcome. Carla, welcome. Tracy, Tino. Wow. Hi, Adrio from Cape Town. Beautiful. You're tuning in from down under. Polly. Hi, Polly in Dorset. Hi, Nicole and Monica in Tahoe. And Marianne, Canada. Savannah, Iris. Hi, Jean. Hi, Surab from Delhi. Oh, bless you. Bless you. So glad you're here. Joyce, hi. Hi, Jessica. Leanne. Hi, Rob. So good to see you here. I'm going to flow through a few more. Oh, Czech Republic. Hi, Dasha. Lovely to see you here. Gosh. Michelle. Hi, Amanda. Hi, everybody. Quite a few people here from the US, Europe. Hi, Evelyn in Germany, Ireland, Norway, Cave Creek, Arizona. Rochelle, that sounds lovely. There's Jacqueline from Italy. Wow, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Silke. So glad that you're here. Hi, Karen. So glad that you're here. Beautiful. Oh. So Ava, yes, you're not seeing anyone. You just, if you click on the chat bar, you'll be able to see everybody with their comments. And that's actually going to be useful for you as we go through this class, because every now and again I'm going to be asking you questions, and it's so that would be where you would share in the chat bar. Okay. Beautiful. Hi, Beth. Yeah, so you see comments, Ava, but not faces. Yeah, we're in the webinar format, which just means that it's actually easier for me to stay focused and usually for everybody else as well. So we communicate through the chat. And if questions come up, you can put it in the Q&A area. You'll see a little button underneath the main picture of me that you can click on for questions, or you can put them in the chat. And if I miss them, you can re-put them in the chat. So that's always an option too. All right, wonderful. So I think where numbers are starting to stabilize, so we'll hang here. Let's begin. Let's begin. So as you're ready, just come sitting up nice and tall. And rock your weight directly into your sit bones and begin to lengthen up through your spine, deepening your breath. First, breathe all the way down to the root of your body. So kind of to your pelvic bowl, inhaling for a count of 5 through the nose. Hold for 3. Exhale through the mouth for 5. Inhale 5 through the nose. Hold for 3. Exhale 5 through the mouth. Inhale 5 through the nose. Getting all the way down to the lower belly. Holding with your attention down in the pelvic bowl, grounding. And then exhaling mouth. And a few more just like that. Couple more. Good. And then when you're ready, just stay still for a moment and start to really tune into your heart center. Beautiful. And then let's go ahead and open the eyes. So again, welcome to all those of you who just joined us. So our topic today, embody your spiritual heart. It's actually at the root of all of the yogic teachings, this idea of uniting consciousness at your heart, of awakening to that source of deep inner knowing, or what the yoga tradition speaks to as our intrinsic luminosity, that all-knowing wisdom, that expression of pure, radiant light that is seen to emanate from the innermost part of the heart, the innermost chamber of the heart, not the physical heart, not even the psychic heart, you could say, but this subtle, energetic heart, which is the space where the emergent consciousness is radiating through us. And so you'll see within the yogic teachings, there's a twofold thread, if you like, of practices to help us to come to the seat of pure consciousness, of pure awareness, of the seat where we're no longer caught in the web of suffering, and that seat lies here at the heart. The twofold process to get there is to purify the mind first, so that the mind can more clearly discern what is real and what isn't real. I'll be getting into this in more detail. And then once we have that, some degree at least of that clarity happening, this clear discernment, like a corrected way of perceiving self and the world, then we're ready to go into the deeper work at the heart center, where we begin to sense, identify, and dissolve some of the deeper wounds, you could say, some of the deeper emotional challenges that we may have. If we were to just go straight to the heart to begin to do that, we could easily get overwhelmed, because the mind would not be in its strong capacity of discernment, and we would keep getting caught in the web of the wounding or the stories that lie there. This is why yogic practice, ultimately, when we're approaching our yogic practice as a practice to lead us toward our own essential truth, as a practice to lead us toward spiritual liberation, then this process of purifying the mind and awakening through the heart is essential. It's a systematic process. We have to do one before the other. And so I'm going to speak to some of these steps that we will go through today in order to find this clarity of perception, this sense of deep peace within us. And none of this is to say that life, once we start to access this deeper peace, that life is just suddenly perfect. It's not. We're going to continuously be challenged to expand ourselves in all situations, to take our focus away from I, me, my, and mine, and begin to expand ourselves so much that our perception becomes inclusive of all people who are involved in whatever challenge we are. And we start to grow our capacity to see things from a greater awareness, and then therefore be able to see beyond the problem that we're myopically caught in, and begin to see the greater value of whatever the challenge is and whatever opportunity it is offering us. So I'm just going to lay out a few concepts, and then what I'd really love us to do is a practice that will help us to build the pranic concentration of energy at the heart center and the focus of the mind. So those two working together help to create this kind of depth of clarity that leads us to greater insight into whatever it is that may be ailing us at this time. So just to share before we drop in from my own personal experience with yogic practice, with using yogic practice to really go to the source of who I am. There's a lot of you here from all different countries with all different backgrounds, and maybe your decision to be in the yogic practice is different. Like, we're all coming at it for a different reason. I know for me, the most important thing in my life is that I can see clearly through the illusions that are keeping me bound in a limited perception of who I am and what I'm capable of, that are keeping me bound in negative relational patterns with loved ones, that are keeping me bound in terms of what my potential is in this life. So all of those aspects, we would call that, right, our conditioning. And if you think of the soul as it is birthed into this three-dimensional reality, and the pure luminosity of the expression of your soul, and then that baby, that pure little being slowly starts to get all of these conditions laid upon it, these beliefs, these sometimes good perceptions, sometimes false perceptions, and that radiance of self starts to get encased in all of this. It's familial conditioning, how your parents perceived the world, how they treated you, how they treated themselves, how the structure of the greater family unit, the major beliefs in your culture, in your society at that time. All of these are influencing how our energy starts to express in life, right? Again, this is what we would call in the yoga tradition now our conditioning that leads to a certain way of being in life. So this pure, radiant luminosity, whose very nature is to expand, to glow, to inform, to illuminate, that starts to get entangled with these limiting beliefs, with these traumas, with these false perceptions of self, false perceptions of reality, false perceptions of where other people are coming from. And so the very purpose of yoga is to begin to dissolve, we would call these veils that start to fold in and cover the inner light. And in my experience, some of these veils, they don't feel so much like, beautiful silk fabric veil that you might have over you. They can feel a bit like encasing, like strong. And we have to work to be able to create enough Shakti, to create enough power to begin to dissolve those veils. And so if you think about, therefore, what does it take to actually create the energy, enough energy of liberation, enough willpower to go through the challenges that sometimes threaten to just engulf us, whether it's in sorrow or anger or frustration or just a sense of helplessness, or as many are experiencing now, just an abject like anxiety, an anxiety that's born of our fear of the future, or fear of losing what we have, and inability to drop in because in doesn't feel like a safe place, or in feels like so distorted by our own perception of who we are and what we're capable of that we'll do anything to distract ourselves so we don't have to go within. So all of this, right? All of this is influencing us in any given moment. The way that I approach practice is an everyday little bit, an everyday dropping in, an everyday slowly dissolving the veils. This is what is really asked of us in the yoga tradition. And then every now and again, a deep immersive experience that, especially, we are growing and growing and growing, and then we might plateau for a while and just feel like we're not really expanding anymore. And at first the plateau could feel really good. Oh, I've just expanded and now I get to sit in that. And then after a while, that sitting just in that place that we've grown to also doesn't start to feel vibrant anymore. The joy, the initial joy, the luminosity starts to dull, and then we've got to dive deeper. So having immersive experiences that allow us to really up-level ourselves, it's so important. And I mention this now, well, I'll get to more of this towards the end, but I mention this now because this idea of immersive experience is for sure what's allowed me to take the large evolutionary steps that get me out of one state of consciousness and bring me into a whole other state of consciousness. And then the idea of an immersive experience is that we're there long enough that the new state can really stabilize and we don't fall back down into whatever the limiting state of consciousness was that we were embodying here. So if you just look at the sheer science of it, we've got to create enough energy, enough vitality in our being that we can take that giant step, that we can face the resistance, dissolve it, and open ourselves up into something new, and that we can begin to feel the expansive nature of energy in the body, which starts to open us into the realm of new possibility. With that understanding that every single thing that happens to us is a gift. It's a gift from life. We are in a collaboration with life here. Everything that comes into our field, everything that comes into our experience is here to help us to grow. And as we're growing, as we're expanding, as we're stepping into a whole new level of self-authority, a whole new level of sovereignty, a whole new level of understanding of who we are and how huge our hearts are, and how exciting this journey of life is, as we start to feel that, the pathway that before us that seemed like it was this narrow suddenly becomes vast, and we're literally now in the evolutionary space where there are so many new opportunities opening to us, that we can truly step out of that limiting vibratory force that was holding us, whether that was infused with grief, with pain, or just with stagnation, whatever that was. Once we build the vital energy and we burst through and we're open to another perspective, then we can so clearly see exactly why that challenge was there. And it buoys us. It brings a level of faith in the process. It helps to negate our doubt, or the feeling that life is happening to us as opposed to for us, right? So immersive experience is so important on this journey of evolution, especially when we find ourselves in those moments where life seems a little bit impossible. I took an immersive experience earlier this year in India, and I went somewhere really special to my heart that has this temple or shrine with the energy of the 64 yoginis, which is really an energy that is reflective of all the different aspects of consciousness. And I sat in there, and I was there for a month, and I did a whole process when I was there. What happened was the depth of my commitment and my intention and the amount of heart I put into it really put me on this trajectory toward a whole other level of evolution. And I think I had an idea of what that evolution was. I thought it was just going to be more emergence into the divine and some of the expansive experiences that I was having in India. And then I came to realize that no, actually what it was I had gained enough spiritual potency, you could say, or just energetic potency within my being, that now suddenly I was ready to face some of the deeper levels of unconsciousness that have been driving my life. So we go into these immersive experiences for this reason, right? To truly up-level ourselves. And then we continue our sadhana, our daily spiritual practice that helps to sustain whatever expansion we have just found. And I will say that you're ready to jump into an immersive experience if you're in one of those situations where your sadhana is not serving you in the way that it used to. You don't have the level of clarity and inspiration in life that you would like to, that when you have that clarity and inspiration, it just drives your life forward in a beautiful way. So I would say those things are good indicators that it's time to immerse yourself in a spiritual practice and begin this process of embodying the spiritual heart, of tapping into this extraordinary power of love within that begins to, once we access that, we know how absolutely beautiful that is. So I want to just pause for a moment here and then just ask you guys, what is going on for you? If you could put it in a few words, like where are you feeling stuckness right now? And let's just draw that sort of eye in to see, to feel like where is that stuckness? And then we'll go through this breath and meditation process as a way to begin to shift ourselves. Carla, resistance to change. Rosanna, dissolution stage in alchemy. Lorna, self-belief and creativity. Bianca, judgments and acceptance. Carmen, guilt for the change. Rosanna, recovering from heart failure due to arrhythmias over the past 8 years. Ooh, so good for you to build the pranic energy of your heart. This practice we're going to do today will be great for you. Suzanne, learning how to be in an intimate relationship. Oof, wow. And that can be an intimate relationship with self, with other, and with the divine, right? Irene, feeling very worried about climate change and polarization of people. Yes. And how that polarization, how much fear that can instill in us, especially because if you think about it, at the core of our being, we are hardwired for unity. That's why yoga is unity, ultimately coming into a unified state. And when we're not experiencing or seeing that on the outside, we really have to create it on the inside. And the more that we create it on the inside, the more we influence the field in that way. And we get together and we create it on the inside. And our influence on the greater field is exponentially greater. Love that. Carrie, I feel inspiration bubbling up, but unclear and fearful about trusting your intuition for the next steps. Ooh, wow. And Charmaine, definitely stuck in sadhana. I know how that goes, right? It cycles. Iris, motivation. Wanda, guilt, shame, and regrets. Tracy, stuck with reverting back to vaping, not feeling good about me, wasted so much of life in alcoholism and sad. Well, every moment of our life, the ripeness, the wisdom of that is here in this moment. So in so many ways, as we are tuning into the nowness, it's like we're all standing on the same mountaintop. Whatever got us to this very moment, as we're tuning in and as we are taking full radical responsibility for who we are, and we're just ready to leap off of that cliff to take us to the next level. And being able to release shame, guilt, any of these emotions that keep our frequency at a lower level. It's so powerful. So here to support you, Tracy. Heart, fear of showing true self, not feeling worthy. Juan, feeling unhappy with life. Melanie, indecision. Kami, stuck in trauma story. Timapna, feeling I never have enough time and it's all too late. Oh, that one, our relationship with time. I recognize that. Marty, seeking more deeper knowledge. Resistance, Mike, and resistance to a loved one, not being open for change. Seeing him as stuck in old patterns. And we have to keep our own reactivity out of that, isn't it? And our own judgment out of that, and just keep doing the work within. It's hard with a loved one. It's really hard to stay in our own lane, to mind our own business when it's a loved one. It's a powerful insight you have there, just seeing that. Karen, awareness of what the truth is and your difficulty finding path from pain to truth. Kelly, your stuck spot, frustration and feeling flat. Stuck in letting yourself grow, Valentina. Oh, we have so many here. Processing the grief from the loss of partner, Rochelle. Isolation despite surrounded by community, Kathy. Stuck in disconnection with husband, Eliza. Suzanne, feeling flat in access to personal freedom. Kimberly, self-limitation, false beliefs about who you are, self-love and self-trust. Ingrid, feeling my worth in the world and receiving love. Well, I'm going to save these and read through all of the rest of them later. So what I want us all to do just for a moment here is just close your eyes and feel that. Feel everything that was just shared, that I read aloud, the things you may have read or the things you wrote that I didn't get to read aloud, just feeling it. It's like the weight of the human condition. It's the weight of the false beliefs. It's the weight of the challenge and the intricacies of negotiating this time space in relationships with others, in relationships with our purpose, in relationships with our family members, loved ones. And so as you are here, just for a moment, start to breathe into your heart center and sense that source of all-knowing wisdom within you. This is a wonderful saying in Japji, nobody is higher and nobody is lower. We're all sisters and brothers on this path, nobody higher, nobody lower. We all have the same connection to source. So breathing into your own connection to source, that which is inherently you. And start to focus here on what would it feel like to be free? Whatever freedom means to you, what would it feel like to be free of the condition that you shared? What would it feel like? What would it look like? And can you, in this moment, just really trust that life has your back, that the creative consciousness within you and the greater creative consciousness that is creating through you is here to serve you. And let's tune in with Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. This mantra, I bow to the divine creative consciousness within. I bow to the teacher within. If you're new to it, you can just hum along or listen or join me. We'll chant 3 times. With the Ong, O-N-G, really vibrate the roof of your mouth. So you send a vibratory frequency through your whole head. So rub your palms together. And Jessica just wrote the words in the chat bar, so you can see them there. Thanks, Jessica. Inhaling. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to move into this practice. We'll use a stroke breath. I love using stroke breaths because it changes our state very quickly, so we can gain a little altitude and be able to see things from a different perspective. And it's also one that everyone can do. Your right palm is going to sit in the left palm, hands clasping, thumbs cross. And if you're sitting in a chair, make sure your feet are on the floor. However you're sitting, have your spine straight, and your hands will be right here in front of your heart. So a pretty simple mudra. You'll breathe in 3 strokes. So each is like a second through the mouth. And then out through the nose. Each one is like a second, 3 in through the mouth. And as you breathe in, you squeeze your hands. So squeeze, 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 and then just keep the hands a little relaxed as you exhale. Squeeze, 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 and then exhale. And we'll go like this for the next 11 minutes, okay? Eyes closed, really focus, concentrate on your breath, call in, harness the full power of your mind to concentrate, to help you to pierce through whatever those layers are that are holding you or veiling you from your experience of that deep, luminous inner radiance. And keep squeezing your hands with each part of the inhale, okay? Deep focus, presence at your heart, eyes closed, and squeezing just on the inhale parts, okay? And here we go. Keep the mind steady. Present with each part of the breath, the gift of the breath. Good. Take a deep inhale. Squeeze your hands, squeeze all the muscles of your body, lift from the pelvic floor, squeeze your buttocks, hug in towards the center of your body. And then exhale through the mouth. And inhale again. Squeeze. Exhale. Inhale again. Squeeze. And then exhale, release your hands. Bring your hands palms up on your knees, either just palms up or in Gyan Mudra, first finger and thumb. Drop in. Just observe. Let yourself dwell here in deep stillness, tuning to the feeling from your heart center, the feeling of the space around your body. Eyes roll to the third eye. Just bathing inwardly in this luminous glow of your heart, of your mind. Not thinking, just pure being. And for a moment, he ascends out into the field, into the space that connects us all in this very intimate realm, and tune into the hearts of all those present at this time. Like we just acknowledge through space, we acknowledge one another, we acknowledge the human condition, and we acknowledge the light that connects us, the love that connects us. And infuse love into this space. You allow yourself to feel the full-blown power of just love. And then come back to that feeling of freedom that you dwelt on earlier, the feeling of freedom, whatever that means to you, to really be free in your life in this moment, to be free, to be empowered, to feel your spiritual heart, that pulse, that throb of divinity within you, that sense of support from the unseen realms. And a sense of gratitude. Can we be grateful in this moment for the preciousness of life, for this gift of life, and for all the ways that we can serve through our heart? And take a moment and just surround yourself here with light. You just draw that beautiful light in through the crown of your head, moving it down through the crown of your head, down through the head, your throat. This healing, cleansing, revitalizing flow of light, white gold as you wish, flowing down through your body. Just seeing it saturate every single cell, every organ, and the space all the way around your body as well, being filled with this light. Any little residue that's still there that needs to go, being cleansed with this light. And it moving all the way down through the torso, wherever you are with it now. Keep following your path down through your body, all the way, everything, the spine, the hips, the legs, down and into the earth, till you feel yourself fully immersed with this healing light. And the healing field of light, protective field of light around your body. And bring your attention back to your heart center, like you see you sitting in the throne of your heart in full authority, in full sovereignty, embodying your strength, embodying your wisdom, and embodying the grace of life, grace of God, grace of Creator. Beautiful. And bring your hands to your heart. And we'll chant along Sat Short Nam. Sat is a state of being, a state of being where we're reverberating in our essential essence. Nam is our capacity to identify with that state. Inhaling. Sat Nam. Thank you, beloved being. Just write a few words when you feel. There's no rush, or only if you feel if you feel to just, what is your experience of yourself in this moment? And yes, you will get a recording sent to you of this. I got a few requests in here. Says Bianca. Divine, full integrity, Tiffany, vibrational light and love, Maya. Peaceful, so much energy and love at the heart center, Carrie. I love that. Lisa, free, blissful, and I can, Kelly. Yes, calm and present. Feeling lovely. I remember who I am, says Suzanne. Thank you, blissful, love, delight. Thank you, Tiampa. Gratitude, warmth, love, deep inner peace. Oh, I love it. So beautiful, you guys. Expansive, powerful. So full of light. Oh, bliss. Oh, thank you guys. So glad. So glad. So we will be sending you this recording and an invitation to you. If you feel that you could be served by an immersive experience, I have two different formats coming up. One starts on Friday, this coming Friday. It's a 60-hour meditation in the mind immersion, where we really go through meditative techniques and understanding of the mind from the yogic perspective, some very transformative practices, one on top of the next, really helping that full up leveling that I think so many of us are wishing for. We have scholarships if finances are very tight for you right now. So meditation in the mind, that's one way that you can take a moment if you have a week, and also everything is recorded, so you can take it over more time if you wish. But there's going to be live practices for a week starting Friday. Again, very immersive, deeply transformative. And if you really want to learn the power of meditation, please join me. And then I'm doing a sutras course called the Sutra Series, where we dive into the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. And this is offered over 7 weeks, starting at the end of September. So if anybody wants to join me for that, we will be going systematically through the Yoga Sutras and showing how the sutras really are a complete teaching around the removal of the systematic removal of the causes of suffering and the awakening of the spiritual heart. So if you're interested, and it doesn't matter whether you've studied the sutras or not, in my experience, every time I open one of the Yoga Sutras books, I'm learning more. Because our perception, our awareness is always growing. So just like you can't step in the same stream twice, every time you engage with a sacred source text, you are going to find a new level. It's going to speak to a different aspect of you. And so it facilitates growth. And that's really, I think, what delineates a sacred text from just an ordinary book or text. It's that it speaks to essential truths, and whatever level of consciousness we are at in the moment, it's going to speak to that level of consciousness and offer you pathways to elevate your consciousness. So check out that. It's called the Sutra Series. Both of these are under the events section of my website, and I'm sure Jessica is popping the links here. Thank you, Jessica. Yes. And also, please join our Radiant Body Yoga community. It's free. We do sadhana practices in there. And so that if you're waning in your sadhana, but you don't really want to do an immersive experience at this time, you could join us in there. But I will say from my own direct experience, the immersion, and really challenging yourself and doing the practices that build your vitality and give you the strength to pierce through the veils in in a systematic way, stacking them one on top of the other. It's truly phenomenal, life-changing, one could say, even. So think about that, and reach out, team at kiamiller.com if you have any questions. And remember, again, if finances are tight for you, we do have scholarships available. I really want to make sure that everybody feels welcomed into these opportunities for personal expansion and spiritual expansion. And thank you for sharing all that you experienced here. Oh, thank you, my beloved sister Karen. Satnam, thank you, Rob. I'm going to download the chat, and you guys can too, if you want to read through everything that was shared. And why I love this is that it takes us out of the feeling of isolation, that we're alone with our own suffering. And our heart naturally opens in empathy when we hear of the suffering of others, and it takes the emphasis off of our own self, and it starts to help us to not take life so personally, and to remember just how complex it is to be a human being, a spiritual being in this materialistic world, and in the challenge of life. It's challenging, and when we hear of other people's challenge, it opens our hearts, and then our hearts are more open, and we get a different glimpse of ourselves, and we remember how loving we are, and we can turn that love inwards. So thank you for the generosity of your sharing, everyone. I appreciate you so much, and I'm grateful to be in this life with you all. Whether I see you in person or not, I feel you, especially when we connect in these ways. So do stay connected. And we at Radiant Body Yoga, we're here to serve you and to help serve your evolution. That's our mission. So you can ask questions in the community portal in the Radiant Body Yoga community as well. So there you will receive support from other community members, and that's a wonderful thing as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And sending you all so much love. Yay. Love, love. Oh, beautiful. Michelle, you're doing the pituitary practices. Yes. Thank you, thank you. I forgot to say that too, for those of you who are still here on Glow. I just did this whole Breathe into Bliss series. Check those out. They're 30-minute practices, and they're all breath-based. So dive on into the Breathe into Bliss series. And then I have another series coming out this next month on Glow, which is about managing our emotional state. They say you teach what you most need to learn. So it's good. I've been really delving into the depths of old emotions and using certain practices that have been super helpful. So wonderful. Oh, Valentina, I'm so glad. You've been doing those classes on Glow. Wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, wonderful. And then in October, I'll be doing a Kundalini inspired Vinyasa series on Glow, which I'm really looking forward to. Oh, good. Jessica just linked you to that Breathe into Bliss series. Thank you, Jessica. The whole yoga teacher training, when will I teach that? Ingrid, is that the 200 hour that you're speaking to? That's going to come next year. We're gonna do a new format for it, and that's coming next year. Yeah. And if any of you are really wanting to delve, go for a pilgrimage, then come to India with us next year. We have 2 India trips set up, one going to the temple that I was speaking to earlier, and the other one going to Rishikesh, where we'll be studying the Bhagavad Gita. Jessica just popped the link. The Sri Sadhana retreat is the one with the beautiful shrine with the 64 yoginis. And then the second one is the self-mastery program that we're doing in Rishikesh. How do you apply for a scholarship? team@kiamiller.com. That's your way for a scholarship. Okay. And let us know which course you're interested in. And usually the team will send you a form to fill out. Oh, thank you, Barbara. So Hannah, I don't put the Kundalini Vinyasa classes on my own website. They're on glow.com. So all of my practices are on glow.com. I have a few on YouTube, and I have some classes within the community portal as well. Yes, and Egypt will be coming, Valentina, for sure. Egypt is coming. Isn't it interesting how Egypt is calling so many of us at this time? I feel like we're going to all go to Egypt at some point and just tap into the different energetic codes available to us. I'm excited, and I'm excited to take people too. So Suzanne, to download the chat, take your little cursor to the 3 little lines just underneath the chat bar. Click on that, and it'll give you the option to download. So for the online immersions, I think that, well, for the meditation in the mind immersion, it's 5 hours a day live. Some of it's pre-recorded, but I'll be available for Q&A. But if you're in Germany, then you'll be able to do the 3 hours from 9 to 12 Pacific time. I know it's a bit late for you, but you'll be able to do that live. And then the other session, the 2-hour session from our afternoon here, Pacific time, you'll be able to do that in the morning, your time. And that's how we roll with it. Australians and New Zealanders and people from Asia can get the afternoon practices live, obviously, along with the Americans. And then they do the morning section in their own time. So it sort of works. We all keep pace with one another within a 24-hour cycle. We're just, sometimes you get the live you can, and then you do the other practice in the space that you have in your day. So it all seems to work out just fine, actually. And then in terms of the sutra series, that's 2 hours of philosophy a week, and then an hour of practice, and then you have an ongoing sadhana that you do at your own time. And the 2 hours of the sutra series, most of them are in the mornings. I think 8 to 10 maybe in the mornings Pacific time, and then there's a couple that are in the afternoons, just so that the people in the other hemisphere can do some live sessions as well. And great. And as Jessica says, we also stay connected in the online training portal and community during the trainings. Yes, so we have that interconnection. When you do a training, there's so then you ask questions, or anything that you miss, you see it. It's all in the portal, all recorded. Okay, so thank you guys. And yeah, thank you for being here. And yay, Sky. I'm so glad you're coming to do the meditation in the mind module. Beautiful. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for your time and your heart and your beauty. And see you on the path soon.